Hey guys, it's Sin of Pride. Welcome back to the channel. And the Birdman versus Critical Drinker did very well. And I said I would do a deep dive into the history of their channel. And now we can open the discussion for that topic that we were talking about. So I'm just going to read two things off the comment section that I had before we get the intro started. Birdman's video was terrible. Three examples. First, he said Peter Parker didn't take his kid into the battlefield, when at the end of the film, he takes her to a portal to the other Spider-Verse. Why was he there? Remember, we already talked about this, which is dangerous. Then he says what Critical Drinker says about King Kong was insane when it's not a crazy take. Remember how Critical Drinker said that when King Kong was brought over by ship, what is that supposed to remind you of? So, and who are you supposed to sympathize with? And I agree. It was a terrible, crazy take. And two, it was from his review, but his trailer review. Third, he said Drinker flip flop on Gina Carano, which he was a bit harsh on her in season 1, but he didn't say anything negative about her in season 2. Remember, he wasn't specifically being a woman hater. He was critiquing, and I agree with this person, Beard, that he was being kind of harsh on her. And then the second one in the comments, remember, I'm saying that I don't want anyone who's going to watch this video to be, if they follow me or anyone in my community to go sit there and hate the Birdman. Their words, not mine. Like I said, I can't control everybody. This guy spends most of his time attacking CinemaSins, a channel that I always saw as a guy just goofing off. What a POS. Roll intro. Okay, like I said, we're going to be covering the history of both these guys. So it's going to be a super long video since we did very successful on the previous video. That's the most grossing traction that I've ever gotten. So like I said, I was going to be doing my due diligence and probably bit off more than I can chew, but we're going to see how long this takes me. It might be uploaded tomorrow. Just based off what I'm seeing, the Critical Drinker, he created his channel September 20th, 2006. And the Birdman created his channel on October 31st, 2008. So I was incorrect in saying that the Birdman has been doing this longer. However, now we have a comparison on if you take a certain route, and if you're saying you're not leaning into political views, well, now we're gonna see the evidence of when you do that, how badly you split your audience apart. And if I can go find some Twitter threads, we're gonna see how you react to this is the Birdman. We're gonna see how he treats his own followers when they would like to just say, "Hey, get on a podcast with the Critical Drinker and have a grown up conversation with him and see if you guys can work it out." Because in the comments, in my own comment section, I said that I would love to see the Birdman on one of those shows with the Critical Drinker. I think that they can definitely pull something kind of like that off, even though that they can have disagreements. If we keep politics out and we're just going into movie critics, and then if they want to step into like the real world issues, then by all means, I would get 100% behind that. So now we go again. Let's get this done. All right. Remember, I feel I feel so bad for doing this. Do I want to do this? Yes. Is it entertaining? Yes. Am I gonna have to do this? I don't have to, but you ever get to a point in your life where you've gotten to that age of like you think you lost who you are as a human being, and then a childhood friend comes up to you and just reminds you of when things were good. Sorry, I'm gonna have to cut some of this. uh so like I said, we're gonna be watching two videos. We're gonna be watching the oldest review video that I could find from the Birdman, and then we're gonna be watching the most recent video from the Birdman. Actually, I need to pull up the most recent video. Well, I think it's going to be different for the Birdman, and why I specifically say that is because we just went over one of his most recent videos. So let's do two videos from the past from the Birdman to capture the old Birdman that we all got to know. And then we're going to do one old video from Critical Drinker back in the day. As far as I can find on YouTube, if they cleared out their videos and I can't find any older reviews, uh, tough luck. It's just whatever they got in their channel. Okay, I'm not looking up like whatever deleted history, but two of each. And I'm so sorry this is gonna be so long, and I'm so sorry that I hope that you're about to see that people do change and how they talk about things do change. So let's go ahead and let them speak. We will be critiquing still in this video. Within each video, we'll still be critiquing each thing. Uh, so I think this one might be more 2 hours. So I apologize for that, but let's start.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk with the Birdman. This time, I wanted to talk about the Netflix film Bright, starring Will Smith, Joel Edgerton, and Noomi Rapace. Holy shit, this movie sucked. A little backstory. I'd seen the trailer for this film almost a year ago, and it looked like one of the most badass films of the year, and I was unbelievably hyped for this to drop. You know, I'm an enormous fan of Will Smith. I like David Ayer's previous projects a lot. I mean, this guy wrote in.
I want you to take note that Bright was not that long ago. For me, anyways. I rather enjoyed Bright. I enjoyed Will Smith. I enjoyed his partner, Orc Cop. I like the story that they set up. They did. They kind of got the similarities that happen in real life. What happens in real life to kind of mesh with the movie. I enjoyed the movie Bright. Again, I do have minority uh, opinions on some things, but listen, do you hear his tone? Like he's excited to tell you, "Hey, I got a review for this movie, and I wanted to show you this video." He's he sounds super up and up, and notice he's not talking about race. Notice he's not talking about a woman. He's just specifically talking about the movie itself. That's the Birdman that I started watching. That's the Birdman when he was good.
End of watch and training day, so how the fuck did he botch this so badly? Okay, so Bright is a movie about two LAPD officers in a world where fantasy meets the gritty Los Angeles underbelly. Seriously, this movie is End of Watch meets Training Day meets World of Warcraft. Wait, what? And in this world, you have humans, orcs, elves, and magic wands that turn anyone that touches them into confetti, unless you're a Bright, a supposedly one in a million being capable of using the wand for magic. These wands have the ability to grant wishes to those that can handle it, and in a world full of gangbanger orcs and dirty cops, you can kind of guess where the story goes.
I think of Bright as like one of those things where if Harry Potter and that universe collided with the Muggles, that's the reality that we would get. We will still have crime in the street. We will still have there are orcs in Hogwarts. There are um what are those guys? Goblins. There are goblins. Like that makes a little bit that makes a lot of sense to me. If wands were released, there would only be a select few that would be wizards and witches, right? So in this universe, they're just called brights. So I think it was an interesting take on the story. It's kind of like if Harry Potter went to Chicago for a week, this would be the movie for it. This is you would see for Harry Potter. I thought it was a pretty cool idea.
And that's just the problem. The story goes nowhere. I've seen more robust plots in porn films. Will Smith's character Ward and Joel Edgerton's character Nick Jacoby are partners in the LAPD. Jacoby is the first orc police officer in the LAPD, but due to some big war thousands of years ago, humans and elves hate orcs in the present day, so they treat them like a second-class citizen. One day, while out on the job, Ward and Jacoby stop for lunch, and an orc makes an attempt on Ward's life. While Ward is incapacitated, Jacoby gives chase, and somehow the orc gets away. Ward goes on to resent Jacoby for this, and here lies my first big problem with this film. Will Smith is an absolute dick in this film. It's just not enjoyable to watch him be an asshole for 2 hours. I mean, it gets old after the first 5 minutes, and then they keep going on.
I'm not talking about race. He's talking about Will Smith, the character that he's playing in this movie. I think it was released on Netflix, right? Bright was a Netflix original. He's talking in depth about the movie. This is prime Birdman. This is prime. Well, I would say getting up to prime Birdman. Okay. It sounds very similar to The Critical Drinker. Mind you, now that I found out that The Critical Drinker, his channel is older, they both start the same. I don't understand how we got to this point.
And on and wrapping it up and up. I mean, most of his vitriol is aimed at the meek and naive Jacoby, and it just makes the conflict feel forced. Even worse is the tone of this film, which is absolutely all over the place. This film can't tell if it wants to be a comedy, a crime drama, a fantasy, or a kid's film. You see, you think I'm kidding about that last part, don't you? Well, there's a fucking Tinkerbell flying towards the screen at the end of the film. Ward cracks Will Smith jokes at moments that seem like a Will Smith joke might just be inappropriate. And then, in the next moment, he's shouting R-rated expletives at Jacoby or at an orc gang member. Will Smith tries to be some tough guy in this film, and it just comes off forced and laughable. There are some interesting ideas in this movie, though, namely the premise of the film. What would the world of Warcraft be like if it were set in near-future Los Angeles? The elves having their own district and being uber rich to the point that everyone in that district is driving a McLaren or a Lamborghini, it's a pretty awesome idea. But every single idea in this film seems woefully underdeveloped. You barely get to see Elvestown, and after one brief scene, they never go back to it. There's a subplot with Ward's daughter that involves her being upset with Ward going back to work after taking some time off after the attempt on his life. However, the movie ends without ever revisiting that idea. It's almost as if the director forgot to film those scenes, and when he remembered, he was like, fuck it, we can have a fake-ass demon Tinkerbell flying at the screen and maybe people won't notice this movie never went anywhere. Swing! Notice I haven't said anything about the...
This is great. This is great. Look, 5-minute video, bam, bam, bam. It's funny. It's witty. He's got jokes in there. He's critiquing the movie for what it is. He's not talking about race. He's not talking about men versus women. He's not talking about black people. This movie is, his review is funny. This is a good take. Primetime Birdman, man. What was it? What was a quote from The Office? You never know that you're in the good times until the good times have passed, or something like that.
villains of the movie? Neither did I. I mean, this movie needed a conflict in order to drive the dental floss plot forward, so it threw some villains in the mix, I guess? I mean, I don't know. I couldn't tell who the villains of the film were. Everybody is dirty or seen dirty, and Will Smith is a jerk. Jacoby's just getting punked the entire film, even though he can lift a truck. The cops are all dirty. The gangbangers are doing gangbangerly things. And the feds are basically Mulder and Scully if Mulder and Scully were trained by Yamcha. And the whole film just boils down to what would happen if you gave a World of Warcraft fan $90 million and said, do that, but like Training Day. So I guess you guys need a rating since I assume you'd feel cheated if I didn't give it a final rating. So, butt cheeks. This movie is butt cheeks. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel,
You see how simple that is? And then we fast forward to like his nowadays stuff. Dude, that's a great video. 5 minutes, man. 5 minutes. That's a great video. You want to be hitting the feels even more? I found an older video from Birdman. Because he does a lot of Let's Plays. I didn't realize how many Let's Plays that he has. But remember what I said about him? He's gonna be biased because he was talking about Star Wars, and that he was a huge fan. Well, remember I said that I would do due diligence. So I found the video. I found him saying that he rather enjoyed it. This is gonna be the second one. I think this is about the point. We're not gonna watch a whole 29 minutes. Okay, like I'm trying to just go into the history of when these guys started. If I go to the Birdman's channel and I go click about, this is what I see. He joined October 31st. Ah. Oh, look at him. He's smiling. That's so cool. Look at Happy Birdman. Man, hitting the feels. I remember being in his stream. I guess when he first started on Twitch, just like hyping him up because he was doing, a good job. And I think he could still turn it around. And I think he can definitely collab with people. He definitely deserves 1 million followers. I'll be honest. He does have some terrible takes, but remember, I'm not calling him any names. I just think he can get up there as far as, critical drinker in them. He's been doing this for so long, and I think it's deserving. So again, when I said on his when he joined October 31st, 2008. Oh, you know what? Giving a little bit more context to when I started, because when I was a kid, when I started my channel, mine is I joined March 5th, 2010. So 2 years after Bird. Bird joined 2 years. Wait, hold on. Think 2000. Yeah. Bird joined 2 years after the Critical Drinker. I joined 2 years after the Birdman. Like, we're seeing actually a very good trend right there of 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. So let's go to one of his oldest videos when he was doing the Let's Play, and it's Star Wars. And just listen to his tone.
guys, I am super duper stoked about this game. Those of you who know me know that I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this thing because I'm excited. I know you're excited. Let's do this. Okay, so the first thing that we can do is play the arcade solo, where I get to play as either I think that's a B2 droid, and Darth Maul, my favorite character from Episode 1. So let's go ahead and wipe them out. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I can choose either Darth Maul. Oh yeah, it's a B2 RP rocket droid. Cool. We're not gonna play with a fucking rocket droid. We're gonna play with Darth Maul, dude. Let's do this. Defeat 25 clone troopers. Okay. Whoa, look at these graphics, dude. And that sound. Fuck you, bro. Eat it. How do you block? Oh, crap. Let's try picking them up. Oh, awesome. That was sick. Where are they? I need more. Feed me. Woo. Oh, I'm getting lit up. Everybody, rumble. So, the course is kind of broken, isn't it? Oh, wait. I died? Oh, come on. I only have one more. Well, that sucked. Defeat a clone trooper. So, as far as I'm... Oh, here we go. You're dead, buddy. As far as I'm aware, Darth Maul is a really poor...
Okay. So like I said, old Birdman. No, that's spoilers for myself. What am I doing? What is this? Okay, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Old Birdman used to hit. Where is the Twitter thing? Uh-oh, I lost it. I lost it. Okay, now technical difficulties. Like I'm not tech savvy. Try to explain to y'all. I try to do my best, man. Here's an old video 6 years ago, mind you. Okay, so he was playing Battlefront 2 6 years ago, right? 6 years ago, there's an older video that I can find from the Critical Drinker. He might have had more in the past, but this is the earliest thing that I can find that has to do with reviewing movies. Okay. The title Star Wars and a Problem with Rey. When 6 years ago. Okay.
Rey is fucking ruining Star Wars. There, I said it. I know this is going to make me unpopular with certain people, but like an embarrassingly large turd, this is something that needs to be flushed down the toilet bowl of the internet so we can all breathe a little easier. Before I go any further, let me preface this by acknowledging that all entertainment is inherently boils down to nothing more than people's subjective personal opinions. There's no right or wrong points of view here, and if you personally like Rey and think The Last Jedi was a masterpiece of cinema, you're still fucking wrong, and I'm going to tell you why. The character of Rey and her progression through the last two Star Wars movies is fucking killing the storytelling capability of this series. She is literally writing them into a corner. This is happening for a number of reasons, but for the sake of brevity, I'm going to boil it down to three big ones. I'm also going to include my own theories on why I think this is happening and what can possibly be done to fix it at this point. Ready? Good, let's flush this turd. Reason 1, Rey's a Mary Sue. I know you don't want to hear this, and I know it's easy to label anyone who agrees with me as a sexist, a misogynist, a gynecologist, or any other ist under the sun, but the fact remains that's exactly what she is. What the fuck do I know about it? Well, I'm a professional author who's sold over $2 million worth of books in the past 5 years, and yeah, I know this makes me an arrogant asshole, but shut up, I'm trying to make a point here. And my point is that I know a thing or two about storytelling, plot, pacing, and character development. More importantly, I know what a Mary Sue is, why they happen, and how to avoid them. The issue started in The Force Awakens, where we learned pretty quickly that Rey's good at things. A lot of things. You get the point. It's fair to say Rey in Force Awakens has an unusual amount of skills and abilities that are either with her at the start of the movie or come to her uncharacteristically easily. She also has no real character flaws. Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy was whiny, impetuous, hot-headed and impatient. In short, he was a typical fucking teenager who thought he knew better than everyone else, and he often suffered for it. In The Empire Strikes Back, he constantly questions the wisdom that Yoda tries to give him, fails to listen to his warnings about the dangers of the dark side, and ultimately leaves to fight Darth Vader before he's ready. He falls victim to arrogance and hubris, the path to the dark side, and well, I think we know how that turned out. Rey never has any of this. She's always...
Can you so you can see the difference between when they got started early on. Maybe not even be their first videos, but like started to get into like, hey, I'm gonna do this seriously type of videos. Look at the edits. I mean, the edits are still better than mine, but you can hear the mics. Like someone had a snow globe. Someone had like that Xbox mic and they're just talking into it. You know what I mean? Like the old school feelies. Uh, so again, we're not gonna be watching the whole video. This is just to give you more of the history of where these guys started. Uh, so this is one of his oldest videos, and I want you to listen to and then how they go about movies. We can discuss differently. I'm just going over the history of the Birdman and the Critical Drinker, and I don't know why they're on. Uh, Not they, more Birdman. I don't know why he's personally attacking Critical Drinker, but listen to his Beetlejuice video about the quality and maybe how he changed up his approach on reviewing a movie. Now, this doesn't exclude Critical Drinker from doing what he used to do. He has a look at his huge following, 2.12 million. That could change how people review stuff. And in general, talk about certain things. That was I didn't even look at the time for that video. I think maybe it was a 6 minute, 5 minute video. This is another 6 minute video. And listen to the quality of like the improve and same with the Birdman. There's improved the quality, improved of how they talk about topics. I didn't even know the Critical Drinker was a writer. That's something, see, like you can't just judge a person without knowing who they truly are. And that's why I remain at a neutral stance. But we're gonna watch a little bit of this and then pull up Birdman's recent tweet about his last video, his newest video, Birdman's. That way, we're keeping it fair. Two old, or one old, one new, one old, one new for each. I only pulled up two old videos from the Birdman because I knew that the newest one we had just covered. And then look at the comment on Twitter that he left, just for comparison's sake.
2024 really has been a year for resurrecting dead IPs with sequels and remakes that nobody really asked for or wanted. Whether it's passably forgettable popcorn movies like Twisters, noble failures like Alien Romulus, or absolute garbage like The Crow, it really has been a mixed bag of successes and failures this year. But which one is Beetlejuice 2? Does it do justice to the classic 1988 original, or is it just another embarrassing attempt to milk an old IP for a quick profit? Well, weirdly enough, I think it's a bit of both. As a sequel to the original movie, it's a decent enough effort that mixes Tim Burton's usual gothic fairy tale style with over-the-top visual gags to deliver something that's pretty unique in modern cinema. Michael Keaton hasn't missed
His wording, you know how he like went directly into he was only specifically talking about Ray as a character, and you see how he kind of shifted into now he's including the whole movie, and I assume as a trailer sense, right? Um, or is it about the movie? I think it's about the trailer. Maybe, I don't know. See, now he's including the whole movie. He's not talking about one specific character. They both started about specific characters. Now they're talking about the whole movie in a general sense. Just listening to him and the quality of like the mics, both their microphones being upgraded and how they speak and how they attack certain videos, ideas, and to make it entertaining for everyone to watch. These are what I was trying to say, and it kind of caught me off guard with how Birdman is talking about the Critical Drinker because I mean, if I need to put more evidence out there, I don't know where I would even start because that's their oldest videos. They started off like that, and then they improved the quality, and but, and then the Birdman just kind of went, you know what I mean? And the whole issue is just bringing politics into their videos ideas, and if they just stay on track with again, Critical Drinker is something entirely different. He's including different topics in his videos. That's his whole idea with his channel. He's always had that idea with his channel. The Birdman just only talked about the movies, and you just heard his Bright video of him specifically talking about Will Smith, specifically talking about the orc character, specifically talking about the fairies. Like that is essentially what the Critical Drinker is still doing. So where did this turn of events take place? And it's not until recently when everyone is saying that, oh, this is racist, that's racist. Well, we just heard the Birdman's old video of him critiquing the video or the movie for being a movie and how he thinks that it was badly written, yada, yada, yada. He even made comparisons with other movies, which is what he would be talking about with uh, CinemaSins and using different cliches from the movie. Remember, if you haven't watched the Birdman, he gets on to Jeremy about you're using another cliche from a different movie, but old Birdman used to do the exact same thing. So I said, where does the hypocrisy come from? And at this point, I can't tell. Like, at what point do you cross to start being a hypocrite to what you once were without giving your audience more context as to why you have made that shift in the first place? And I'm not asking for him to explain everything he goes through in his life or things that personally happened to him, because that's on a personal level. And, I want to address why, as a YouTuber, a very good YouTuber, that why did he take the opinions that he took? Uh, and it shifted from the quality of videos. I see a quality improvement for both of them. I see quality improvements for the topics they talk about. Just one wanted to go to play the race card and be a complainer, and one wanted to go and talk on TV shows and address why it's bad writing. And well, now it makes sense. It's because he is a writer himself. So, where is his racist remarks coming from currently now? Uh, So again, we're not going to watch the whole video. If you want to watch their whole videos, go to their respective channels. This was just to get the history behind these two. And I want this to be a shorter video. But here is the tweet that I was trying to find from the Birdman about the grifters. Remember, this is the newest video that we just covered about him supposedly exposing the grifters, and now it's about a race thing. And then there is the comment. This probably is the comment that was left in my YouTube video. I'm not sure, but it says something very similar. It's them asking, your expos are way different than your composed logical, and in parentheses, your composed logical thoughts that you do on YouTube. You almost come across as emotional and very enraged. Did we not say the same thing? It sounds like he's being a complainer. If you are someone who likes logic, why not ask the drinker for a set down, mano a mano? Don't even have to record it. And I think it'd be a very beneficial thing for both of them. Birdman says, nah. Boom. 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 Cue future me. So, again, I had to take a little break because when I did that video initially, I was tired. Okay, I got a full-time job, very stressed. I like making videos as a hobby. For now, maybe one day we can make it into a job. But, I mean, okay, I might have to cut that. But, sorry, I want this be right in the middle. Cue future me. Take two. Okay, I know it was a very short video. However, we're not done yet.